What's up, guys? Let's get this live stream going. Just got back from Oxnard, California at training camp. I want to see if anybody sees if we're live yet. Give me a few minutes. All right, so I believe we are live here. Give me a minute to make sure this is good. Okay, we are good. All right, guys, this is Philip Enriquez. You know the deal already here on the Say What You Like Sports podcast. If you are not following me on the Twitter, please go ahead and do so. That will be at Say What You Phil, Phil being PHIL. I have a lot of nice photos from training camp earlier today, the practice. I got a few quick videos. I got Byron Jones working on the sidelines. I got a few throws from Dak Prescott. I think I might have a Mike White or two. I got the offensive linemen stretching, going through their position drills. I got a few things. Facebook Live is another thing. Go to the Say What You Like Sports Podcast on Facebook or look up myself, Philip Enriquez, and you should be able to find this stuff. I think I have the offensive line, just almost the whole offensive line drills on Facebook Live, going through the whole offensive side of the ball there. But I want to kind of just quickly jump on here and recap what I saw today, what I witnessed in training camp for the Dallas Cowboys in Oxnard, California. Now, as you may or may not know, I am a Southern California boy, just an hour or so away from Oxnard. So it's no big thing for me to just take the day off from work and head up onto Oxnard and see what's going on with our Cowboys. So it's something that I might just do a couple more times. We'll see. I'm kind of excited to head over there on a weekend. It gets a little bit more packed on the weekends, but it should be fun. There's a lot of Cowboys fans out there that we talked with today. We met a couple cool people. I met up and saw Shango, a YouTube Cowboys legend. Law Nation was there. Cool people, man. Cool people. We watched the 7-on-7s, the 11-on-11s. It was a lot of fun, man, sharing our thoughts. It really was. Wish there was a camera on us and not the practices. That would be really cool, man. But, as far as some of the things that I seen, last time I live streamed, I talked a little bit about Mike White and Cooper Rush, the backup quarterback situation. And I got to say, I walked away a lot more impressed with Mike White. Mike White, man, I didn't know he was, I knew he was a big dude, but I didn't know he was so tall. He's maybe a little taller than Prescott when you look. I don't know what they list him at, but when you see them on the practice field, they're more or less the same height. He does not have the size, the weight on him that Dak Prescott has, that strength, but he's definitely got the height. And, he had some zip on the ball. He made a couple of tough completions in the practice drills. I want to say like some of those intermediate routes, a couple deep routes. Now, he missed a few. If I remember right, there was a few missed passes from Randall Cobb. And Randall Cobb's another one that looked a little bit rusty, but it was just day number one for Cobb in pads. So, there's only one way to go up from here with Randall Cobb. I'm still confident in Randall Cobb. Just a bad first day. That's it. But going back to these quarterbacks, Dak Prescott, you know what? You're going to read you're going to read the national media's coverage of the Dallas Cowboys, and you're going to see that Dak Prescott threw 2 interceptions. The first one was to Jeff Heath, which really wasn't his fault. The receiver got his hands on the ball up high a little, went through his hands, and Heath, just being at the right place at the right time, got his hands on the ball, kind of did a little juggling act. It was cool. Tipped the ball to himself. It was a cool thing to watch, and he got the INT on the floor. It didn't look like he was going to come down with it for a while. The ball was just bobbling, and Heath was already on the floor, and he was just bobbling it, and finally just brought that thing in, securing the INT. So, you know what? A lot of Cowboys fans kind of are a bit of a downer on Jeff Heath, but Jeff Heath, you know what? He's the only one that gets us turnovers. And you know what? Jeff Heath might make a mistake here or two. He may not be the strongest or the greatest at his position. I think they're kind of playing Heath out of position, if you really want to get technical. But he's always around the ball. He made another play in practice today. I cannot hate on Jeff Heath. He is what he is at this point. Another interception that Dak threw was to Xavier Woods, and that was on a pick six, man. So, I think that's just a practice thing. Dak's just trying to see if he can, fit the ball, throw the ball into a tight window. Cobb I think he was running like a curl route or some type of a comeback route. I really haven't reviewed the tape and reviewed everything I recorded, but I do remember seeing, Cobb on a turnaround route, some type of a curl or a comeback, and Xavier Woods, man, he stepped right in front of it. Bye-bye. Pick six. That would have been a pick six in a game. So, the defense was hyped on that one, and overall, I'd say the defense outperformed the offense in practice today. Again, the date is July 30th, 2019, the Tuesday morning practice. So it was real cool, to get out there for the morning. But I'd say the defense outplayed the offense for sure. But the offense did flash. Who looked good as far as wide receivers go on offense? Man, I think you got to look at Cooper. Amari Cooper, man. He's a baller. I believe. Sign him up. Pay him what he wants. That's the way I look at Amari Cooper right now, because he was tearing it up after today. You see him. He was going across the middle. He was grabbing balls up high, grabbing them up, pulling them in down low. No matter, as long as it was in his vicinity, he's going to catch it. He's going to make the play. I'm big on Cooper, man. But that goes without saying. I mean, the league is on notice with Amari Cooper. But who they may not be on notice with is Michael Gallup. Now, Gallup really didn't flash today, but I still got a ton of confidence. He made a couple of grabs out there. Cobb looked, like I said, rusty. But again, I think there's only one way to go up from here. Randall Cobb. Also something I noticed was I seen Cooper line up in the slot a little bit there. A couple of times I saw Cooper in the slot, and I thought, is this innovation coming from the Cowboys offense? Is that possible? Is this, playing multiple positions? Isn't that nice? That's just so refreshing to me to see Cooper in the slot. When did you see outside receivers playing in the slot? But it looks like with Kellen Moore and with Linehan going bye-bye, it looks like we're going to see a little diversity in this offense. And Cooper in the slot, it was a welcome sight. And playing Cobb outside, it was nice. Nice to see. Another thing that I'm taking from the training camp that I seen, something that stuck out to me on offense, I'd have to say, some of the little-known receivers, really, nobody really flashed to me. John Vea didn't really, make a big play. At least I didn't catch it. Again, I have to. It was a taxing day, just getting down there, getting set up, talking with everybody out there, the drives both ways. It's a lot, and it's a lot. So I haven't really looked at the film, but I'm just trying to, give you guys a recap of the highlights out there. So, we were out there today and picked up this here. Cowboys United. So that's how you get when you're ever in Oxnard. If any of you guys out there are ever in Oxnard, you're going to see the Cowboys United, and you want to get close and try to get some signatures, try to, meet and greet with some of the players. You got to pay for the United Club. Then you get to go past the little gate, and not in those benches way, 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 way off to the yonder and during training camp. So get a few things. Let me see here. See what we got. Get some Cowboys glasses. Nice, nice glasses. Cowboys United right there. If you see Cowboys United. That you get sticker decal. Nice Cowboys decal. Cowboys United. And get this nice little towel right here that I'll put up for you guys there. Cowboys United, baby. How you like that? Not bad, right? So yeah, those are some of the things you get when you go down to Cowboys training camp. So yeah, like I said, I doing all that, grabbing all the stuff, signing up for it took a lot of my time. So I haven't reviewed tape. I have stuff shot on a Nikon. My buddy, aka Mr. Boom, he recorded a lot on a Nikon that we still haven't went through that film. We've really only went through what I've recorded on the phone. So I haven't really went through anything that wasn't recorded on a cell phone from camp. So, there should be more content. We'll see if we found some good exciting stuff and we'll post it up on Twitter or YouTube. We'll see what it looks like. But just continuing to recap this thing, this training camp practice. Frederick was out there in pads. That was good. It's just good to see Frederick back in pads working. He looked all right to me. I've heard from other people saying he looked a bit rusty. I didn't see that. I saw that more in Cobb. I could see that from where I was standing. I saw a few drops from Cobb. A few mistakes from Cobb, but I didn't really see that in Frederick. But again, I got to look again. I could be wrong. Frederick might have been a little rusty. Other things, man, I like, let's see, what else really sticks out about the Cowboys training camp. Let's see. Didn't see Michael Irvin out there. I know I saw him recording. He looks like he was sitting down with NFL Network, but I didn't see him on the field or anything like that. That was kind of disappointing. That is my all-time favorite Dallas Cowboys player, What else? Byron Jones was working off to the sidelines. I put up an earlier video with the quick recap. This is basically just me sitting down and talking about what I remembered off the top of my head with a few videos. You'll see a few videos of Mike White, see a few videos of Dak Prescott, throwing a few deep passes. I think you might even see one of those Cobb drops I was talking about. You'll see Taco working one-on-one. I think that's the play where he hurt himself. I believe he looked a little gimpy after that one, walking away from the off the sideline. I got a few clips out there, but yeah, check those out. They're on YouTube. They're on Facebook Live. Like I mentioned before, right when I started this stream, there's a lot of stuff on Twitter. So check that out, man. Let's see. Trying to do this all on my own right here. What can we talk about that I seen? Defensive guys. You guys know who flashed, man. Xavier Woods flashed. Heath got another interception. A lot of guys had the day off. A couple of the veterans, I think it was like a veteran day off kind of thing. Witten was in a ball cap and shorts. But that was a good thing. Because that means number 89, Blake Jarwin, he gets a few more reps. And I liked what I saw from Blake Jarwin. Put me dead center in the middle of the Blake Jarwin fan club. That's me. I think I'm going to lead. I'm going to drive the bandwagon for the Blake Jarwin fan club. I like the way Blake Jarwin moves out there. He's quick. He gets off the line of scrimmage. He gets into his routes quickly. He's got good size, man. He's a big dude. When you see him, you're like, who's that Jarwin? Law was even pointing that out to me. Like, man, how big is Jarwin? He's pretty big. And he is, man. I mean, I think they list him at, 6'5" or so? But he looks like a big boy. And he's going across the middle. He made a few big grabs in front of me. I was impressed, I like what we see from Jarwin. So, I'm happy that Witten came back for 2019. You can't go wrong with Gold Jacket Witten. But I'm really excited for Blake Jarwin. So hopefully, they can become an awesome tandem. Maybe they can become that dynamic duel at tight end that we were supposedly going to get back in the days when they were drafting the likes of Anthony Fasano and all those tight ends, Martellus Bennett. I mean, they, for years and throughout Witten's career, they tried to pair him with another tight end and run the two tight end offense. And for whatever reason, the other tight end never worked out. So maybe this is the one. At the tail end, at the twilight of your career, Witten, maybe Jarwin is that dynamic duel, the Robin to your Batman, and he can replace you and be Batman going into 2020, 2021, or whatever. But I am right in the middle of the Blake Jarwin fan club, the Say What You Like sports podcast. Put that up right here, Blake Jarwin all the way. Schultz really didn't do, nothing stood out. I saw him out there, running around, but he didn't flash, nothing really big there. Dak, back to the Dak Prescott thing. I almost forgot. So you're going to hear about the 2 interceptions, but I think Dak looked pretty good out there. I think, his accuracy looks like it's improving. You always hear the cliches of that Dak is just not a practice quarterback. And you know what? He really hasn't been. At least the last few years I've been going to training camp, he really hasn't. He's played well in the preseason games. His first year, you remember that. And then obviously in his rookie season. So you get that common, people love to talk about Dak just not being a practice player. I mean, that's not the case this year. He looks like a good practice player. You can definitely tell who the best quarterback is on that practice field. It is Dak Prescott. I mean, he is commanding the huddles. He's doing his thing up there. Dak looks like a new guy, man. He looks like a new guy in practice. He looks accurate. He looks strong, confident in the pocket. Just looks like he's in command out there. A la Aikman, the leadership thing, that's natural leadership thing. And he's got it. Yeah, he threw a couple balls in the dirt. I don't know if anybody caught those. I don't know if I got those on film on the Nikon or what. He threw a couple balls in the dirt, threw a couple of interceptions, but outside of that, he was spot on. He was on the money. He was made. You know what I noticed about Dak? He's starting to build on that accuracy in the middle of the field. He's starting to eat on those intermediate routes. Just like Troy Aikman and Michael Irvin on those skinny posts, or Novacek's on those in and out routes. He's starting to eat. He's starting to become deadly accurate. Hit him in stride. Put it where the receiver needs it. Just eat. Eat up the middle of the field, down the field. I'm starting to see that from Dak. So, yeah, you might hear about the 2 interceptions, but I think Dak Prescott played well in practice today. That's probably something that you may not hear from everybody else, but me being there, I definitely, at least me, that's what I took away from watching Dak play. I think he did real well. So we talked a lot about quarterbacks, talked a little bit about the O-line, talked about the tight ends, Jarwin, my boy Jarwin, Witten, was just off to the side there in shorts. Sean Lee didn't practice either. Neither did Rico Zeus Gathers, and sorry to say, man, but I don't think Rico Gathers is worth talking about right now. I think he's an afterthought at this point. I think they've pretty much given up on Rico, man. When you see Rico out there, which he wasn't out there for the practice portion. Yeah, he wasn't out there. There was no number 80 in sight. But, you hear a lot, you see a lot. The coaching staff and him, they just don't get along. You can see it. He's inattentive. He's walking away when they're talking to him. He's not looking them in the eye. It's that little body language thing that you can pick up on these sidelines. I mean, that's something that we don't get to see when you watch training camp on DallasCowboys.com. Yeah, you see all the plays. You see all the big plays. They do a great job of explaining who's running what route and what third string receiver this is and what college he's from. It's great. I love watching that stuff. But you can only tell the little things when you're there. The little things. Like, does that player look his coach in the eye? Those little things make a big deal. Can that guy command a practice? I mean, do his teammates believe in him? Or who's following and who's leading? Those are the things you got to be on the sideline to see. And that's the coolest thing to me about being able to live this close to Oxnard and seeing this every year. I can always get a feel for the team prior to game one. Last year, I was at training camp and I was telling all my buddies, I was on the Say What You Like Sports podcast right here talking about how this defense was leaps and bounds better than the offense. And how did the season start? Not bragging or anything, but you can see these things when you're at training camp. And the national media may not see those little things, but you can see in between when the whistle blows. Those defensive guys, man, they're a unit. Man, they're tearing it up on the field. They're together off the field, walking off the field. The offense doesn't seem to be quite on that same page. And it's true. So it's still young in the 2019 training camp for the Dallas Cowboys. This is only their second padded practice. They just got to Oxnard. I'm really starting to focus my sight and my energy on that first preseason game against the San Francisco 49ers. I will be there as well at Santa Clara. Going to be talking a little Niners, a little Cowboys, talking about the rivalry, talking about what we want to see there. I want to see Mike White. That's what I'm looking for at that game in Santa Clara. Mike White. Let me see Mike White do to the San Francisco 49ers what I'm seeing him do in practice, and I think the Dallas Cowboys just might have their backup quarterback. That's for sure. And that's not to eliminate Cooper Rush yet. Cooper Rush didn't look bad. He actually had a nice deep ball completion. I haven't looked at the film. I don't know the receiver, but deep down the field, nice pass. It was so Cooper made his plays, and he had a couple bad plays too. But by no means is he out of this quarterback competition. By no means did anybody look leaps and bounds ahead of Cooper Rush. Just Mike White looks a little bit better. And this number 5, man, didn't see him much, but he's working. He's working out there with the coaches. He's one of the last. Again, the little things you see. He was one of the last to get off of the practice field. He's one of the last ones. So, he's putting in that work, man. We'll see what he can do. Maybe make a practice squad. We'll see how he looks in preseason games. He's another one to watch, man. But that just about is it for what I witnessed today at training camp today, Tuesday's morning. Oxnard, the sun wasn't beating on you, but it was cool. But standing out there all day it starts to get to you, starts to tire you out. I'm tired. But yeah, guys, you know what? If you have not already, I repeat, sub up to the YouTube channel. Leave a like on the Say What You Like Sports Podcast Facebook page and Twitter, where I'm probably most active on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter at Say What You Feel. It's right there on the screen. But yeah, hopefully I'll be back at Oxnard sooner than later, talking about what I've seen. Hopefully now that I got this thing down, I got the use of the camera, I know how to download everything quicker. We had multiple cameras and each one is different. Some are on memory cards, some need an auxiliary cable, some I need to shoot straight from the phone to do certain things. So I'm working through the kinks, guys, as you can tell here. Just a small channel, but then I can start really talking about, the in-depth analysis, looking at the players more than just, for me, I've been focusing more on the setup than even the players on the field, to be perfectly honest with you guys out there. So I think I'm getting this thing down, and I think I'll be able to provide a little bit better of an analysis for you guys out there on what I'm seeing. So thanks, guys, for checking this stream out. Try to leave a like, leave a comment. Let's talk Dallas Cowboys football in training camp, what we want to see for that first preseason game. What do you want to see in Santa Clara? I don't really want to see any of Dak, to be perfectly honest with you. I want to see a lot of Cooper Rush. I want to see a lot of Mike White. I want to see who the backup quarterback is for this team in 2019. Do we need to go outside for it? What do we need to do here? Everybody's talking about the Zeke suspension. Man, I want to talk about the guys right now. We know Zeke. I mean, I don't know. Zeke might shock us all and miss games, but usually when the paychecks stop coming, that's when you gotta go back to work, right? But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I'll talk a little bit about that later. We will be also doing a live stream for the Hall of Fame game, so make sure to sub up to the YouTube channel. Get notified on that. We're gonna do that, and we're gonna also be me and my partner Eric Hernandez. We're gonna be doing the previews and predictions pretty soon. So we'll be putting that out on the podcast. So that'll be available anywhere podcasts can be found. It'll also be available here on YouTube. We'll get that ready for you guys out there, for the video people out here. We'll be starting with the AFC North. Then we're going to the AFC South. And then we go East-West. And we'll do the same thing for the NFC. So we'll try to be on a schedule of releasing 2 a week. So we'll try to knock out the AFC North and South in 1 week, release those. And we'll go from there. 2 episodes per week and get through the 8 divisions. Previews and predictions. I'll give you a little preview right now for the AFC North. I think there's a lot of Cleveland Brown hype that I'm not going to quite buy into yet. I know that if you buy in now, you can win big, but I'm just still not sold. I need to see a little bit more from Cleveland. I'll say that. I'll say don't underestimate Pittsburgh. I think a lot of people are underestimating Pittsburgh, and I think Ben Roethlisberger and Mike Tomlin got a lot to prove after AB and Le'Veon Bell are out of there now. I think you had the 3 Bs, the killer Bs, and there's only 1 B, and he was the 2-time Super Bowl winning quarterback, and he stood. He pulled rank. He's there. They're gonna take his side, but now he's got to show up. He's got to show out. He's got to get this team back into the playoffs. So I don't doubt champions. Just don't doubt champions. I'm not saying they're going to dominate. I don't think they're a legitimate Super Bowl contender, but I don't doubt the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't. And then you got the Baltimore Ravens, who I am not very high on. Not high on Lamar Jackson. I think he's going to have to make some big improvements for them to really compete for the division. I don't think they're a bad team because that defense is awesome. That defense is lights out. That running game is really, really good. Really underrated. But this team's only going to go as far as Lamar Jackson can catch. And you've seen, I think they weren't, I'm just being honest, I think they ran a gimmick offense last year. And I think when they got into the playoffs, the Chargers said, okay, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to shut it down. And I think that teams got the blueprint. And I think you're going to see a lot more teams shutting that down. So they better have grown as an offense if they want to continue to have success. That's what I think for the Baltimore Ravens. And then you got the Cincinnati Bengals who, damn it, A.J. Green got hurt, and he's going to miss a few games because that was my sleeper. I was going to say, if they're healthy, this team has the talent to hang with Pittsburgh and Cleveland. Everybody's talking about Cleveland, but there's a lot of Pro Bowlers on that defense. The Red Rifle, he's not that bad when A.J. Green is in the lineup. You got Boyd out there opposite A.J. Green. That looks dangerous. Yeah, the offensive line has been shaky at times, but they patched it up a little bit. It's a little patchwork, but I think they would have got through. But we'll see how many games A.J. Green actually misses. But watch out for Cincinnati. Just maybe. Then again, they're Cincinnati. They'll probably suffer 1.5 million injuries and be out of the playoffs again. But don't forget that team started 4-1 last season, and then the injuries hit. And once the injury bug bit, it bit their ass hard. So don't count them out right away. They are not the doormat that some of you guys out there might be thinking. That I can guarantee you. So we'll start talking about all the teams around the NFL, not just the Dallas Cowboys, but since we're privy to training camp, I'll be talking a lot of Dallas Cowboys. So guys, I'm gonna probably end this stream, get going on this one. But like I said, look out for those videos there. And let's, what do you want to go out with? Some more Tupac? Okay, yeah, we can go out like this. All right, guys, sub me up. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it.